In 1949, a major event occurred in Asia. Under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, the Chinese people achieved a great victory in the Democratic Revolution. This was a landmark event in the history of the international communist movement, following the success of the October Revolution. It profoundly reshaped the global political landscape. In diplomacy, China adopted a lean-to-one-side strategy, fully aligning with the Soviet-led socialist camp. On February 14, 1950, the Sino-Soviet Treaty of Friendship, Alliance, and Mutual Assistance was signed, marking the beginning of a honeymoon period in Sino-Soviet relations. With China's inclusion, the socialist bloc connected across the Eurasian continent. The confrontation between the two camps extended geographically. To the north, along the Sino-Soviet border, and to the east, across the sea from Japan. Due to its strategic location, China became both a defensive shield for continental powers and a crucial buffer zone in great power competition. In the early 20th century, significant events in the region set the stage for Cold War dynamics. In 1910, Japan formally annexed Korea through the Japan-Korea Annexation Treaty. After World War II, the Korean peninsula was divided along the 38th parallel into US and Soviet spheres of influence. In 1950, the Korean War erupted, starting as a civil war but escalating as major powers became involved. North Korean forces quickly captured Seoul and gained control of over 90% of the peninsula. The tide turned when US forces landed at Incheon, pushing back North Korean forces to the Chinese border. This threatened China's national security, prompting its intervention and turning the war into a key Cold War conflict in Asia. Elsewhere in Asia, Vietnam's anti-colonial struggle escalated. Following Japan's occupation of Vietnam during World War II, Ho Chi Minh led the Vietnamese people in establishing the Bao Dai government in the south. After 9 years of resistance against French forces, the French army surrendered on May 7, 1954. The Geneva Accords divided Vietnam along the 17th parallel, leading to the establishment of opposing governments in the north and south. The U.S., under President Kennedy in 1961, sought to demonstrate its commitment to containing communism by increasing military advisors and deploying special forces to Vietnam. While the U.S. grappled with insurgencies in Vietnam, the Cold War reached its peak with the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. The discovery of Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba shocked the U.S. government, resulting in one of the most intense confrontations of the Cold War era. These events mark significant milestones in the Cold War's evolution, highlighting the ideological, political, and military rivalries that defined this global conflict.